Alright guys, you should have already done PSSA Power 57 on your own. And now we're going to go over it, and I want you to make all corrections I will be checking. So, we're going to start with the first one, mean absolute deviation. Now, this is a huge pain in the butt. So, remember mean absolute deviation, the M-A-D stands for mad, because it should make you mad. But I want you to do the 3 steps. Remember, the 3 steps I like to think of as a mean sandwich. You've got mean as your top bun, subtract, and then mean as your bottom bun. So it's like you're making a mean sandwich. Now I'll show you what I mean. So in the first step, you have to find the mean of the numbers above. Remember how to do that. You add those up, and you should have done that on a calculator, and they add up to 136. And then you have to divide by however many numbers you add, which is 4. And if you do that, you get 34. So 34 is the mean. It's always a good idea too to write that down, like especially next to step 1, so you know that's the mean. Next step. In 2, you have to subtract each number from the mean. So you have to subtract each of these numbers with 34. Now remember, no negative numbers. So you always want to start with the bigger number when you're subtracting. So I'll show you what I mean. The mean is 34, so we'll do 34 minus 32, and they are 2 apart. For the second number, 38, we do 38 minus the mean, 34, and they are 4 away. Make my 4 a little neater. For the third one, you do the 34 minus the 26, and you get 8. And for the fourth number, 40 minus the 34, you get 6. So we subtracted each one of these numbers with our mean, 34. Remember, no negatives. So, step 2 is done. And now to complete our mean sandwich, it says find the mean of the numbers from step 2. So for 3, I have to find the mean of these 4 blue numbers from step 2. So to do that, I add them up. 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 6, and they add up to 20. Now do not fall for this trick, because here's what people do. They do 20, and they choose B, which would be wrong, because you forget the very last step. To find the mean, you have to divide that 20 by however many numbers you added, which was 4, and 20 divided by 4 is 5, which is your final answer, the mean absolute deviation. Alright, so whatever mistake you made, leave yourself a note, and you can flip this paper over to the back and leave yourself a note on the back. Now, let's move over to geometry. It says find the area of the figure below, use the formula sheet if needed. So, you know I'm going to make you do it, so you may as well do it now. I want you to write the formula. This is a parallelogram. So you need the formula for a parallelogram. I'll write that down. You can get the formula sheet in the orange folder on the wall, or you could use the cover of your back of your book to get this formula. And the formula for area of a parallelogram is area is base times height. No half involved. Now, to substitute one of these numbers in our parallelogram is not needed. So here's how you can tell. The base and the height must form a right angle. So this 5 here is not part of the base or the height. The base is 9 times the height is 3, and that means the area is 27 square millimeters. Alright, if you had that, give yourself a C. Remember, this work, I need to see. Okay, third one, unit price. You see the sign below at a store, 25 pencils for $1. What is the price of 1 pencil? Okay, now before I do the work, let's use a little common sense. 25 pencils for $1 is a lot of pencils, right? If you can get 25 for $1, then you know the price of 1 is going to be pretty small. As a matter of fact, it makes no sense to be for these 3 answers for A, B, and C, or I'm sorry, for A, B, and C, because they're all above $1. Think about that. If it's 25 pencils for $1, how could it be more than $1 for 1 stinking pencil? So the answer's got to be D, 4 cents, just using some common sense for that one. Now, if you solved it, like you were taught, you'd write it as a fraction, $1 for for 25 pencils, and you want to find the price of one pencil. To do that, you would divide by 25, divide $1 by 25, and guess what you get? You get 0.04 or 4 cents. Alright, but use some common sense there, guys. Last one. Oh, we have not done this in a while. We're going to do some dimensional analysis to solve this. It says use the table below to answer the question. How many inches are in 5.5 feet? Okay, so let me get a little bit of room right underneath. And I want you to show this work because you have to know how to do dimensional analysis. It's been a while since we did this, so we'll refresh your memory. Remember, the first step was to take our amount and write it as a fraction. So you have to change 5.5 to an improper fraction. So you do the 5 times the 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So you get 11 halves. And don't forget to label your feet on top. So that's the first step. Change your amount to a fraction. Your second step is to get your conversion amount. We're doing inches, feet. So I'm going to go up here, inches, feet, and we are going to make that our second fraction. Now this is the part people forget. Remember how feet is up here? Feet must be down here in this fraction. So you want to make sure the 1 foot is down below and the 12 inches is on top. So that's step 2. Remember, step 1, write the amount as a fraction. Step 2, get your second fraction from the table and make sure the same unit is diagonal from each other. Step 3 is you do some bow tie reducing and solve. So let me start out here. Remember, the feet cancel. 2 goes into itself once. 2 goes into 12 6 times. And if you do that, you get 66 over 1 inches. And that would be a 66 inches. So I will be looking to see that you did some dimensional analysis. Alright guys, make sure you get this handed in, have all your work shown, leave yourself some notes on the back. You can rewatch this video and pause it wherever you need to for yourself. Thanks guys.